3000 BCE vertical bar, the Lost City of Atlantis. Myth or hidden truth? We've all heard it. How 80% of the ocean remains unexplored, that we know more about the surface of Mars than we do about our own seafloor. But here's a question no one really asks. Do we even understand the legends of our ancient past? Because whispered through the ages is a tale that blurs the line between myth and reality. A civilization so advanced it rivaled the gods, only to vanish beneath the waves in a cataclysmic fury. Artifacts that hint at forgotten glory. Ruins that defy our timelines. Structures that modern science struggles to explain. This is the story of Atlantis, a lost city from around 3000 BCE. Myth or hidden truth? And no, this isn't fiction. Everything you're about to hear draws from ancient accounts and real discoveries that challenge what we know. In the sun-baked academies of ancient Athens, around 360 BCE, the philosopher Plato penned two dialogues that would echo through history, Timaeus and Critias. He claimed the story came from Egyptian priests, passed down through the lawgiver Solon. Atlantis wasn't just a city, it was an empire, a vast island continent, larger than Libya and Asia combined, positioned beyond the Pillars of Hercules, what we now call the Strait of Gibraltar, in the vast Atlantic Ocean. Ruled by kings descended from the sea god Poseidon, it boasted unimaginable wealth and technology. Concentric rings of water and land formed its capital, with towering walls coated in gleaming orichalcum, a mysterious metal that shone like fire. Canals crisscrossed the island, fed by hot and cold springs, powering baths and harbors for massive fleets. Temples glittered with gold and ivory, dedicated to gods who granted the Atlanteans dominion over the seas, but hubris doomed them. They grew corrupt, waging war on Europe and Asia, only to be defeated by a heroic Athens. Then, in a single day and night of catastrophe, earthquakes and floods swallowed the island whole, leaving only an impassable sea of mud. Plato called it a cautionary tale of moral decay, but was it pure allegory, or a veiled record of something real? Scholars debate it fiercely, with no consensus. Some say it's fiction, inspired by contemporary disasters. Others point to clues that suggest Plato drew from lost histories. Either way, the details are too vivid, too precise, to dismiss outright. In the azure waters of the Aegean Sea lies the island of Santorini, once known as Thera, a volcanic paradise that exploded around 1600 BCE in one of the most violent eruptions in human history. Ash clouds darkened the skies for days, tsunamis ravaged the Mediterranean, and the Minoan civilization on nearby Crete was crippled. Archaeologists uncovered frescoes of advanced cities with multi-story buildings, plumbing, and art depicting seafaring prowess. Sound familiar? Many theorists believe this cataclysm inspired Plato's Atlantis. The eruption matches the timeline shifted by a few millennia, perhaps due to translation errors in ancient records. The Minoans had a bull-worshipping culture, echoing Atlantean rituals, and their sudden collapse mirrors the overnight sinking. But here's what baffles scientists. No other event fits so neatly. Excavations at Akrotiri reveal a buried city frozen in time, with no bodies, as if the inhabitants fled a divine wrath. Modern volcanologists confirm the blast was 4 times more powerful than Krakatoa, capable of sinking landmasses. Yet, skeptics argue Plato placed Atlantis in the Atlantic, not the Mediterranean. So, was Thera the real Atlantis, disguised by myth, or just a piece of a larger puzzle? The ruins whisper secrets, but the full truth remains buried under layers of ash and legend. Off the coast of Bimini in the Bahamas, in 1968, divers stumbled upon a bizarre underwater formation. Massive stone blocks arranged in a straight line, stretching over half a mile. Dubbed the Bimini Road, these rectangular slabs, some weighing 15 tons, look eerily like a paved highway or the remnants of a harbor wall. Dated to around 3000 to 2000 BCE through carbon analysis of nearby mangroves, they align with Plato's description of Atlantean engineering. Psychic Edgar Cayce predicted in the 1942 that Atlantis would rise again near Bimini around 1968 to 69, and sure enough, the discovery came right on cue. Geologists debate, is it a natural beach rock formation, fractured by waves, or man-made, with tool marks and precise alignments that defy erosion patterns. Submersibles have captured images of what appear to be anchors and marble columns nearby, not native to the area. And the location? Smack in the Bermuda Triangle, where compasses go haywire and ships vanish, echoing tales of Atlantean crystal technology disrupting navigation. Explorers report electronic malfunctions during dives, much like other anomaly sites. If Atlantis spanned the Atlantic, Bimini could be its eastern outpost. But mainstream science dismisses it as coincidence. Why? Because accepting it rewrites history, suggesting transoceanic civilizations millennia before Columbus. Deep in the Sahara Desert of Mauritania rises the Richat structure, a massive bullseye formation visible from space over 30 miles wide, with concentric rings of eroded rock that mirror Plato's circular city layout. Formed around 100 million years ago by geological uplift, some argue it was once an island in a shallow sea during wetter climates around 3000 BCE. Satellite imagery shows channels that could have been canals, and ancient artifacts litter the site, including tools from Neolithic peoples. Theorists like Jimmy Bright claim it matches Atlantis perfectly. Positioned near the Atlantic, larger than described, with natural moats from erosion. Plato mentioned mountains to the north, and a fertile plain both present here. But here's the enigma. No advanced ruins have been found, yet ground-penetrating radar hints at buried structures. Expeditions face harsh winds and shifting sands that bury equipment overnight, as if the desert guards its secrets. Geologists call it a dome formation, not a city. But why does it align so uncannily with ancient texts? Some whisper it was Atlantis before the Sahara dried up, its sinking not into water, but under endless dunes. In the frigid depths of the Black Sea, a massive flood around 5600 BCE triggered by melting glaciers inundated vast coastal plains, displacing entire populations. Marine geologists Robert Ballard and William Ryan uncovered submerged villages and freshwater shells turned saline, proving a deluge of biblical proportions. This Black Sea deluge theory posits it as the inspiration for flood myths worldwide, including Atlantis. Plato's timeline? Off by a zero, perhaps 9,000 years before Solon becomes 900 if misread. The flooded lands were fertile, supporting advanced Neolithic societies with metallurgy and trade networks. Artifacts from the region show symbols akin to Atlantean orichalcum alloys. But the mystery deepens. Sonar scans reveal geometric structures on the seafloor, possibly man-made, that electronics glitch near. Divers report unnatural currents, pulling them away like a protective force. If Atlantis was a Black Sea metropolis, the flood erased it, scattering survivors to Egypt and Greece where the tale was born. Scientists agree on the flood, but balk at linking it to Plato. Why? It challenges the idea that advanced cultures only arose later. Hidden in the icy wilderness of Antarctica, beneath miles of frozen wasteland, satellite anomalies suggest something extraordinary. The Piri-Reis map from 1513, compiled from ancient sources, depicts the continent's coastline, ice-free, as it was over 6,000 years ago. Theorists, like Charles Hapgood, propose Atlantis here, a temperate paradise before a pole shift around 10,000 BCE buried it in ice. Plato described a warm climate with elephants' fossils confirm prehistoric megafauna in Antarctica. Recent ground-penetrating radar from NASA's Operation Icebridge detected massive cavities and pyramid-like formations under the ice, sparking wild speculation. But expeditions face blizzards that halt drills and cause hallucinations from extreme cold. Geologists insist it's natural tectonics. Yet, if global warming melts the ice, what might emerge? An Atlantean outpost, powered by lost tech? The frozen continent holds its breath, defying exploration. And finally, scattered across the globe are artifacts that hint at Atlantean-influenced tools of impossible precision, like the Antikythera mechanism from ancient Greece, a gear-driven computer echoing advanced Atlantean astronomy, or the Beigong pipes in China, metallic conduits predating known metallurgy, perhaps remnants of a worldwide network. These outliers don't fit timelines, suggesting knowledge from a mother civilization like Atlantis. Governments fund secret dives, but findings vanish into classified files. So, Is Atlantis a myth cooked up by Plato to teach philosophy? Or a hidden truth, fragments of a lost world waiting to resurface? The evidence teases, the anomalies persist, and the ocean keeps its secrets. One thing's certain, in our quest for answers, we might uncover something that changes everything. What do you think lies beneath?